Okay, hello, welcome back to Farmbiz with Markay. Now, this is the pen where we raised our last batch of birds that we disposed about over a week ago. So everywhere has been washed and cleaned and disinfected. So we're about setting up the brooder where we are going to brood our next batch of birds. Now, there is something I need to do because I don't want to make use of the manual drinkers that I've been making use of in addition to these nipple drinkers and then the bell drinkers. So for this few days that I'll be that these chicks that I want to bring will be in the brooder, I want to make use of strictly the nipples drinkers for them. Normally, when I bring in my birds, I normally give them just a little space. As they grow, I keep expanding the brooder. As they grow, I keep expanding the brooder towards this end until they grow to the size before I will now open up everywhere for them. So, but what I'm going to do in that case, this length of nipple drinkers that I made was somehow not enough for them. As in, when I use some partition to block it from here, they will only be making use of about 5 nipples. But now what I want to do, I want to divide this nipple in such a way that in future I can still join them together to make one length. So I'm going to divide it into 2 so that they will be within this space, so that at the end I will have about 10 nipple drinkers for them, which is more than enough for about 150 chicks that I want to brood. So by day 2, day 3, as the case may be, I will now have to introduce the bell drinkers to the brooder if need be. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be doing the expansion for a proper brooder setup. In case you want to know how we installed these nipple drinkers that we've been using for our birds, I have a video in my channel on how to install nipple drinkers with tank. So it will give you a detailed explanation on everything we did there. Practical step-by-step guide is what anybody can do. We did it and you can do it as well. So what I'll be doing, this 2x2 wood you are seeing, I'm going to cut it into 2, since I'll be dividing this long length of pipe that we've been using. Since I'll be dividing it into 2, each one will be taking about 5 nipple drinkers with Cobb. So each one will be taking 5 nipple drinkers with Cobb. I'm going to divide it and then move both of them to this end. So I'll be showing you how I'm going to do the whole connection. This is the pipe that I was using. So I've cut it in half. So I've cut it into 2 because I want to ensure that this place that I want to brood, I'm able to set up about 10 nipple drinkers for about 150 birds. Just like I said, I will not be making use of manual drinkers in this my brooding. So I also use this. You might be wondering, why did I remove these nipples and then come and as if I want to reinstall them again? So I just used the opportunity to wash the nipple drinkers, especially the cup. I wash it properly and then ensure that everything is clean before bringing it back to the pen, because for a very long time now I've just been cleaning the cup, clean the nipple, but there were still some dirt at the back. So I used the opportunity to disconnect everything, wash, and then bring them back to reinstall them. This is also a very big opportunity for you to understand the whole installation we did in the past, how we installed these nipple drinkers that we've been using to raise our birds. Now, normally this spacing that you see here is about 1.5 feet that we gave. So it's not that there is a rule of thumb that says you must take this spacing in between the nipple drinkers. You could take a shorter space, about 1 feet. You could take a longer space. Whichever spacing you take is okay, provided when the chicks or the mature birds are drinking, they don't jam pack together. So that is the purpose of spacing them, because assuming one chick stays here and back this other side and be drinking from here, one mature bird, and the other one, they back each other, would they be able to drink from that nipple drinkers? That should be a guide for you to set your spacing. So there are some components that I bought, some plumbing accessories that I bought that I will be using to do this expansion I needed to do today. Now, one of such a component is this 3/4 female socket. This 3/4 female socket you are seeing, because I'm taking time to explain this, because there was a comment one of my followers made that, okay, why didn't I mention the names of each of the accessories that I am using to do the installation? So that is why I'm taking time to explain that now. Now, I have here 3/4 female socket. That is, this side is 3/4 that can go into this pipe, because the pipe you normally use for this installation is 3/4 pipe. 1/2 inch will not work for you, because this stuff you are seeing here is 3/4 that can really fit in here tightly. Please, you need to understand something. This seal you are seeing here, this seal is very, very important, because if it's not there, you have a whole lot of leakage in your pen. So ensure the seal is always there before you install this nipple drinker. So this one of the component accessories we'll be using is this 3/4 female socket. Now we'll also be making use of this flex hose, because this is actually what we'll use to join both of them together, because we'll be having one source coming to deliver water to both pipe. Then we'll use this flex to connect them. Now why I'm using this, because this will go in here with gum. Now why I'm using this, maybe after brooding I want to expand it, I can use flex hose to join both of them together again. Now whenever I want to brood, I can disconnect and then bring the two pipes together to one end. So that is the purpose of me using this. So that is the main accessory I will be using for this installation. Now this other end of this 1/2 inch, because remember this is 3/4 female socket, so this nipple has to screw to this end. So once this nipple screws to this end, this flex pipe screws to this other end, then this can now come to this side. So you see how it is fit in. So after installing my nipple drinkers with Cobb, now everything will be so nice. So that is what I'll be doing now. This is the main accessory we'll be using for this installation today. So once I'm done installing the nipple drinkers with Cobb back, I'm going to show you how the whole connection is going to be done. Now another thing we also need for this installation, which is very important, is this PVC gum. Very, very important, because we need to install this stuff at both ends. We'll install one here, we'll install one at this end, we'll also install the other one at this end, at both ends. So that's what we are going to be doing. So to do that, I need to do this installation before installing my nipple drinkers cup. Normally, if you don't exhaust the gum, you need to ensure you tight it properly so that air doesn't go in. Otherwise, once air goes in, you may not be able to use it again. So ensure you don't have any form of dirt in this stuff. Ensure it is clean, both surface. So I need to apply this gum now to this end, just one end. You don't need to apply it to the other threaded end. So at the same time, I will need to apply the gum to this other end as well. So once I apply the gum in here, then what I do next is to quickly fit this in. So once I fit it in, push it in tightly, I leave it to dry. Once it's dry, that will be all for that other pipe. So we have to do the same to this end as well. I need to be sure the way I want to install the accessory is cleaned. Then I apply my gum. Remember, this is PVC gum. It's not an ordinary gum. Any gum that you can use to join PVC is very, very key here, so that you don't experience any form of leakage. So after that, I connect this 3/4 female socket to this end. Now we are done with this connection. We are done with this installation of this 3/4 socket right now. You might be wondering, what's the purpose of this? I bought this in case the end, I may not need to connect them together at the other end. I'll be showing you everything. So this is like, use it to stop the flow from here. At the same time, if in the future I need to expand this from here to, I can bring in nipple, just something like this, connect it to that end, and then expand the nipple drinkers maybe in a bigger pen. That's the purpose of this. So what I will do next is to begin to install the nipple drinkers with Cobb. Now for some people, they may decide to install their nipple drinkers this way, facing each other. Some may decide to install it this way, some may back each other, but what I will do, I will take this direction. So the first thing you do after drilling this hole, normally what I used in the first installation I did to drill this hole was a scissors. I used scissors to mark the hole. After pressing it down a while, I tested it with the nipple if it can fit in tightly. So when it has fit in tightly, we install the nipple drinkers with Cobb. This is the one with Cobb. So you can check out that video as well. It will give you a detailed explanation of the whole thing that we did. So we'll need to install it now. This is the hole where we'll be installing the nipple. So we put it down like this. ensure the other enters the hole. Once it enters, you push it in. Okay, it has entered. Ensure it enters firmly. Then you turn it upside down. You see, this needs to clip. Though when you press it down, it hasn't gotten to the end really. I will now have to use plier to like clip it the more. Okay, it has gotten to the final end now. Okay, you see, it's tightly fit. It can't move anymore. So that's what we want. So I will install the second one till the whole thing. Remember, I don't want to install it this way. I have to go one way. This is the other pin. I need to do this again. Okay, push it in. Where's the hole? Okay. Okay, until it goes in. Remember, that seal is very, very important. That seal is there. This seal I'm talking about, this stuff here, if it's not there, you will experience a whole lot of leakage. This seal, very, very important that is there. It's very, very important. So I need to clip this. You hear that clip, and then to be sure that everything gets to the end, I will have to now use plier to complete it. So we do the third one now. Remember, what we are installing here is about 10 for this 150 birds that we need to brood. So we'll be using 10. Now the recommended number of nipple drinkers for brooding day-old chicks is about I think it's about 30 also. But for me, as I always say, I don't know how that research was carried out to arrive at that figure. So what I will do, I will assume about 15 to one nipple drinker instead of about 30. I assume 15 so that they don't lack water in any way. So that wherever they are in this brooder, they have access to that water is very, very important. So I don't want to assume 30. So I assume a lesser number. This is very important because I don't want story. So after pushing this in, I press again and then clip this. So, okay. That has clipped. Then the last one for this pipe, because they are 5'5", so I'll have to. Okay, there was some stuff blocking that hole, so I installed one way. So I need to push it in. But meanwhile, you need to be sure that that seal is there. Very, very important. If it's not there, it won't be good. So this is it. So I need to press and then clip it finally. Okay, we are done with this first pipe. Now you might be wondering, the purpose of this here is for discharge. Maybe I want to flush the pipe, the water that is in the pipe. I want to flush it because after this installation now, what we'll be doing next is to disinfect this pipe with the tank. Then we are going to add some chlorine tablet inside the tank. After washing and disinfecting the tank, then we'll bring it back, add some chlorine tablet in there, so that the pipe can be disinfected before we make use of it for our beds. So we are done. Now this is for that discharge. When we are done, want to flush the line, we can open this, the water will go out, then we lock it back, the water will stay in the pipe. So we will do the same thing that we just did to this pipe to this other one. So remember, it's one way. We don't have to do it the other way. So what we'll do now, we'll face this side. Okay. So we install it one way, push it in. Then either way, you can decide not to install yours one way, it will still be okay. Then we'll clip this. Then finally, we use plier to complete it. Okay. Then we do the same here. Now this is because if you want to really be making use of manual drinkers, the labor in your farm is going to increase greatly. So this automatic drinking system, automatic nipple drinkers has been helping me a whole lot in reducing the workload in my farm, because once there is water in that tank, everything runs down to this nipple pin, and before you know it, the chicks will be drinking from the nipple. Now, initially when I started raising my birds, I thought, okay, it will take a whole lot of time to really train my chicks on how to use this nipple drinking system. I didn't do any form of training. I didn't train them in any way, because as one chick peck on that pin, before you know it, all of them will rush down, because they will be exploring their environment. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is where the water is coming from. Okay, we need to be drinking water from here. Before you know it, they will rush down and be drinking from there seriously. So that's how they learn. So within this happens within few minutes that they get into the brooder, they will get used to it. Get used to it seriously. They will start drinking from that from those nipple drinkers. So it's very very easy. The same thing happens to bird drinkers. It's also very easy for them to learn how to drink from there, because that should be very easy, because they are seeing the water running down the bird drinker, so it shouldn't be difficult for them to learn how to use the bird drinkers. So I also have a video in my channel on how to install automatic bird drinkers for your pen, for brooding as well as for raising matured birds. Now, as usual, I don't normally introduce the bird drinkers as at day one that I introduce the chicks into the brooder. Because they bat inside that bird drinker, so I don't want that, because I want my brooders to always be dried. So I use this from day one, but by day 2, day 3, I introduce the bird drinker. So that's what I do. So this is the installation. We are done with the installation of this nipple drinkers. The next thing we are going to do is to set everything up. Again, there is something we normally do on this channel. If you ask your question or you comment and we discover that responding to that comment with a text, with some text, will not give you a clear understanding of the answers we are providing, what we do, we take that question that you asked, we make a video with it, put it there for you so that you have a detailed understanding of the answer we are providing for you. So the next thing we have to do now is to complete the connection, that is using this flex to link here to this other end. So as well as connecting the two together to this other end where the water will be coming in from. Now this pipe you are seeing here was what I installed during my bird drinkers installation. This is where the water will be coming in from the tank. I will be using this as my on and off ball valve to either turn it on or turn it off. Okay, now when you are making use of this nipple, it's very important you add this thread tape to it. This thread tape you are seeing here, so it will make it stop any form of leakage. Because if you just install it that way, you will experience a whole lot of leakages in your pen. This thread tape you have to put it. You need to put it, okay, clockwise. You need to put the tape in clockwise direction. Doesn't have to be too much. Just put a little. About 3 of these flex holes. I'll be joining it, one to this point, the other one to this point. Now before I'll be able to connect anything here, I'll need to put nipple. This nipple here has to go in here before this other flex hose can be attached to it. Now since I'm supplying 2 pipe, I need to use this white T. This is 1/2 inch T. The inlet that is coming, I need to use it to separate it so that one will go to this end, the other one will go to the other end. So that is why I'm making use of this T you are seeing here. Now for you to make use of it, you have to thread this end, screw it to this end, thread the other nipple drink, screw it to this end, thread the third one and screw it to this end before you'll be able to screw something to the T. Now in this case, now I can screw this in here, I can screw another flex here, I can screw the other third flex here. Now remember, this flex hose you are using, you have to be sure that this blue stuff, everything is complete in here. Don't joke with this. If this is not here, it will not be tightly fitting. So in that case, you still have some leakages. So this something like seal, this black seal has to be there. Very important. If it's not there, it's not going to seal properly. You still have some leakages. Cut it. Okay, I can now screw in this my flex to know if this thing is tight. That is, you observe that this thing is still shaking, meaning it has not gotten to the final end. Okay, you see it is tight now, it's not moving anymore. That means it is tightly fit. So you have to be careful when you are screwing the nipple to this T. If you screw it so tight, it may break this T. So you need to be sure that doesn't happen. So this is tightly fit now because this thing is no longer moving again. The same thing with this end. So this is what we'll be using to bring in our. This is what we'll be using to bring in our inlets to these 2 nipple line. So to do that, first we need to thread this end to ensure it's not much. And another thing, when you are screwing in the nipple to this 3/4 female socket, you need to be sure that you don't apply so much force because it may get this thing broken. So I need to put just a little tape. It doesn't have to be much. So remember, this is going in now. It doesn't have to be so tight, otherwise it may get this 3/4 female socket broken. So that is much. Now it's a bit tight. That is okay. Okay, so I need to screw it in. Please ensure you screw this in well so that you don't have any form of leakage. This is very, very important. So once I'm done, this shouldn't move anymore. Okay, I'm done now. Okay, the next time to do is the other end. We come to this end, screw it in. Okay, it doesn't have to be too much because when you are doing it, be sure you don't break this 3/4 female socket. Ensure you don't break it. Then I cannot screw it in. Okay. Okay. I need to check. Okay, it's tight. Okay, that means this one is properly fixed now. Okay, we are done connecting both end together. Now the next thing we have to do is to make connection between this T to where the inlet is going to come in from. So to do that, I need to check this other one. Okay, this one is not properly fixed. Okay, this is tight now. Okay, so I shouldn't experience any form of leakage here. So I see, okay, it's tight. This other one too is also tight. I'll need to connect this here now. First of all, it's always good you check if everything is completed. Okay, the seal is here. That washer, that plastic washer is also there. So I cannot connect what I need to connect. So don't forget to know if this thing has gotten to the end. This thing is still moving. That means it has not gotten to the end. Okay, just a little. Okay, it's tight now, meaning it has gotten to the, it's no longer moving, meaning it has gotten to the end. So I shouldn't experience any form of leakage in here now. I would have used 1/2 pipe to really make this connection together and avoid all this joining that I'm making with these flex holes. But that will not be flexible for me. It will be stiff sort of. So if I want to like adjust it, it will be a problem for me. So to be able to do the adjustment, okay, this is tight now. To be able to do the adjustment, you need to make use of these flex holes to be able to do that. So this is the inlet that is bringing water for me. So this is where this one is going to connect to. So again, I've checked the flex, it's okay. So I need to connect this, screw it in properly until this one no longer turn. You now know, okay, it's okay. Okay, yeah, it's okay. This one is not turning anymore. So we are done with this connection now. Now you might be wondering, what's this for? I know in future I'm going to introduce bell drinkers. That is why you see this 1/2 inch female socket, which is this, because I can easily screw in the bell drinkers in here and then extend it to where I need to extend it to. That will be the purpose of this. And this is to shut that off, this bulb valve, to shut the water coming in through this outlet. This is to either turn it on or turn it off. We also have it at that other end too. At the end of this other one, we also have it. Now one other thing we need to do lastly, also have a 3/4 female socket in here. In case I want to discharge the water that is inside this pipe, I should be able to open it here and let the water out, just as I have at that other end. Just as I have at that other end, that is a 3/4 ball valve that I normally use to discharge the water from that long pipe that was there then. So I need to do the same thing here, but at the moment I don't have that 3/4 ball valve. All I need to make use of is this angle valve. So remember, this is the one we use to turn the water on and off from the tank. So I'm making use of 1/2 inch ball valve, so I shouldn't make use of this anymore. So I'm going to attach this to this point so that whenever I want to discharge this water, all I need to do is just to turn it on here. The water will rush out. Once I turn it off, the water will close again. That's the purpose of this one you are seeing here. Now it's necessary I put some thread tape here, because if I don't put it, once the water gets here, it will be dripping on the floor here. So I don't want that. So that's why you see me, I will need to now add some tape before screwing it in. Again, clockwise direction. You need to apply it in clockwise direction, just a little. This one doesn't have to be much, please, just a little. Okay, just few turns round this thread, and then we screw it in. Doesn't have to be very tight, otherwise this one will get broken, because it has happened to me before in the past, so where I have to end up replacing it. So I think we are done now. So we can turn this on here, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, just as we have at that other end. That's the purpose of this. So we are done setting up this nipple drinkers for our brooding now. So all we need to do is to fix the tank and then do our whole brooder setup. That's what we need to do. Thank you so very much. If you find this video helpful, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like, comment and share, as this will do a whole lot for us in helping us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.